Do, 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 do. All right. Okay, like I'm a minute early, but you know what? Better to be early than to be late. Am I right? All right. I did say I was doing a TikTok live today, didn't I? Yep, I did. Huh. So here I am. Here I am, helping you, Bunky, with your clutter and your stuff. Let's get you, as I like to say, from stuck to started, overcoming the overwhelm, noticing the unhelpful thoughts that make you feel like crap so you stay stuck, and let's work on the other side of it. Let's get you from the mud onto the asphalt, onto the I put the ass in asphalt, on on your decluttering journey, because that's how I like to look at it. Good morning, everybody. I love this. This is kind of like the romper room side part of the show. Mindy Berry just showed up, user 1963, Jane H, Sophia, user 1963, Lisa just joined, user 1963, liked the live. Good morning, PM 11208. I love it how we all have different names here. Speaking of names, my everyday name is Beth, but I'd much rather you remember Destination Decluttered. Pamela says, good morning from New Jersey. I'm always interested to know what states you're in. So that could be kind of a fun thing when you're joining in. It's kind of like when you're on a Zoom call and you tell people like where you are. Things is I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm on the East Coast, and I show up a number of times a week. Not all the same time, not all the same day. I like to mix things up. KW Alexander and Kim and Jeep Mama and Anne Marie and Teresa in Chicago and Florida, and I see Linda B, and then I just said Florida, like Mrs. Tanetta used to say it. Nice to see you all. Mary is joining. Oh, this is so much fun. Just Roro. You're not just Roro. You're Roro. Rosemary. What was her last name? I went to school with a girl named Rosemary. I want to say Rosemary Clooney, and that was not it. Queens, New York, and nice to see you. So, anywho, a number of Mass and PA people. Ma and Pa. Love it. Those are my two states. Anywho, I am here for the next 59 minutes, hour or so, to help you. I am a decluttering life coach of the Gen X persuasion. I like to make decluttering fun. I make it fun because I treat it like a road trip. I want you to enjoy it so you get started. And Wisconsin, Delaware, nice to see you, Delaware. I lived in the 302 for a while. Virginia, love it. All over the world. Okay, at least over the U.S., right? So I am here to help you. As I said, decluttering life coach. I do one-on-one coaching. I have a mailing list. I do TikTok lives, and this is one of them. This is how I help you, as I like to say, get from stuck to started with your decluttering. North Carolina, Virginia, Teresa, Tammy, Deb, love it. Come on in, because what we're going to do is we're going to treat your decluttering and your life like a road trip, okay? This is how I coach. This is how I make it fun. This is how I was able to make my life look and feel and function better, my home look and feel and function better, and there, ergo my life, because what I teach you is how to copy and paste the tools I share with you, the processes and the systems and the methods to declutter your home. You can copy and paste that same concept over onto your life, and it's fun. And OMFG, my life feels so much better in the last 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years than it did in the past 2 to 3 to 4 or 5 decades beforehand, right? Okay, there we go. User 1969. Oh, thank you for bringing that up. So user 1969 33 something 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 is saying thank you for the lives. I haven't been able to join a Zoom yet. Okay, so I said she, I have no idea. What they are saying is, so if you are on the Destination Decluttered email mailing list, you get all sorts of cool stuff for free just because you're on it's like not a fan club, but it's like a group. It's like a membership, but it's free. And one of the things I do with my, the folks on the list is it's like you're on the list. You get special treatment. I'm on the list. You get in for free, right? You get all sorts of swag when you get in there. One of the things I do is a monthly free group Zoom call. And if you're on the Destination Decluttered email mailing list, you already know when that is for August. If you want to get on the Destination Decluttered list, you're on the list. I kind of like that. It reminds me of my rock and roll days that exist to this day. I'm like, I don't need to buy tickets. I'm on the list. I go backstage. I'm on the list. How cool is that? You're on the list. And sign up for the mailing list if you're interested by going to destinationdecluttered.com /join and just put in your email Easy peasy. You will immediately get a free habit tracker that's attached to your welcome email. You'll get the invite to the Zoom call. I also do free workshops about decluttering your, strategies about how to declutter your time, all sorts of good stuff. Okay, I wanted to make sure, but, I also want to be sensitive to every, folks. You may not even know if you want to get on my mailing list because I'm just yakking right here. But so this is what I want to get into right now is I am here to help you. I am here to help you if you're stuck and overwhelmed with clutter of any variety. This is what I work on with my one-on-one Zoom clients. And what I would like to do is have you pop in some questions into the chat so I can answer them for you so you get from stuck to started. I love this where Just Roro says, you have helped me make a pile for the thrift store and to feel better that I'm slow at it. People, friends, this is what it's all about. Slow is a general point. Move at the pace that feels right to you, but just move. You can drive slowly, you'll get there. You can drive quickly, you'll get there. The only time you won't get to the destination you want to get to is if you don't drive at all. Now, I love that you have a pile for the where to go. Make a pile for the thrift store, Just Roro. I love this. What I want to help you with is take the next step. Take the next step. Maybe your pile for the thrift store goes in a bag. Then you put the bag in the car, and then maybe even before you put the bag in the car, actually, I'm going to back that up because I know some people put the bags for the thrift stores in the car, and then they don't, bring it there for months. Is look at your schedule, look at your week, look at your calendar. Everybody, if you don't have a calendar, get a calendar. Your calendar is like the most powerful tool to allow you to not just do the things you have to do, but the things you want to do. You will see the time you have available, and then you will put something in there that you want to do, okay? So chunk it down into smaller things. I have a really good video that I just made. I was editing it right before I came here about the many ways to chunk down the overwhelm so you can get started. Oh my God, see, Amy just did it right here. Amy, you're gonna love it because I'm gonna tell you this stuff right now. I'm gonna help you and everybody else who's signing on right now. And even for the people who are not watching this live, but are watching this when it is downloaded and then uploaded to the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel, so you can watch it at your leisure. So the best way to start when overwhelmed is this. I should be really good at this because I was just editing my video about this. But there is a way that I teach how to overcome the overwhelm of I've got the world above me. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm looking up over myself for it. What I want you to just remember is every time you think overwhelm, notice that it has the word over in it. And notice that the opposite, I'm always dealing with like this opposites. Unhelpful thoughts, helpful thoughts. Stuck, started. Unhappy, happy, And when you think overwhelm, I want you to use that feeling, that thought, that word as a clue to stop, hammer time, and think, instead of over, I'm thinking down. I want you to calm down. I want you to breathe down into your lungs. I want you to slow down. Overwhelm is usually everything all at once, too much, blah, 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 shh. Okay? Breathe down. I say calm down, but not in a calm down. Calm yourself down. Calm your nervous system. Deep breaths down into your lungs. Notice I'm using that word down, and I'm even my body language. I'm very, it's down. Doesn't it even feel better? Everybody, take a few deep breaths and do this. You're going to feel better immediately. And when you feel better, you do better. Then I want you to write it down. Now, I say this, write it down. I am old school. I am Gen X, so I am happily in one section and in another. What I want to say is sorry, I just got myself distracted. I have one foot in the paper camp and one in the digital camp. I love writing things down with my hand onto paper. I do this because it forces me in a really good way to slow down, because I cannot write as fast as my brain is. But when I do this, I have to write it down, and I have to write it legibly enough so I can read it. So what do I write down? I write down all these random thoughts that are in my head, and thoughts and feelings of things I need to do, things I have to do, unhelpful thoughts. I write these things down so I can problem solve them. I can look at them. You can't look at what's going on There's no way to roll your eyes up into your eyeballs, into your head, and look at what's going on there. In order to figure out what's going on here that's making you feel overwhelmed, you need to take it out of the spaghetti pot, right? I have that video I posted on the top of my TikTok page. If you haven't liked my TikTok page, you might want to like my TikTok page. Spaghetti, dump the spaghetti out. Dump it down. Write it down. Look it down. And then you chunk it down. Okay? Now, I know that's a lot right there, but the only reason I'm kind of being a little bit more quick on that is because I am, as I said, I'm in the midst of creating a video I'm about to post later today that kind of outlines that. So you can like that, you can save it, you can go through it to remember it, okay? But the main thing, everybody, is I want you to feel empowered. You can do this. More helpful thought, when you think I can do this, makes you feel better in your heart, right? I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. This isn't so hard. I can do it. And then when you think this isn't so hard, I can do it, you're more likely to do it. Am I right? I'm all right. I'm pretty good at this. Okay, what else do we have here? And let me just check this for a sec. Okay, never mind. Oh, yeah, you know what? I just wanted to mention, if you want to sign on to the Destination Decluttered email mailing list, I think I mentioned that. Okay, a couple of you are doing that, so you know it's destinationdecluttered.com/join. There's also a link on the front of my TikTok page that has a whole bunch of links. If you want to sign up for a consultation to find out if one-on-one coaching with me would work for you, you can do that there. You can see where the YouTube link. I'm also post things on Instagram and Facebook, but that's mainly for the people who aren't on TikTok. I show up on TikTok all the time. So if you're here, you're in the right place. If you like my page, you will also be notified as to when I am doing other TikTok lives. Now, the funny thing is I don't have any scheduled for next week yet, but they will be posted later today, because what I do is I always make a video and I post the schedule so you know when to show up. I show up early most of the time because I'm East Coast, but I also will show up at least one day a week later in my day to show up at a morning time that's more reasonable for the folks on the West Coast, okay? All right, here we go. There we go. We got everybody getting started. Okay, here's the thing. There we go. All three varieties of clutter. I love it. Surface, stored, and sentimental. Okay, user 1963, you got it. So you've heard me before. So for the new folks in the room, okay, when I divide up, when I categorize, chunk down all of the clutter, chunking it down into three categories: surface, stored, sentimental. Okay, definitely sentimental. I don't know if user 1963, you saw that I did a TikTok live that was strictly about sentimental clutter. I will continue to show up talking about that. But I also did upload that video to the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel. And so you can watch it there. What I want to say just in general as repetition, even if you've heard me say this before, repetition is like watering your plants every day. You don't just water them once and figure it done. The more you repeat things, it more allows it to soak in and kind of be like, yeah, that makes so sense. So surface clutter. Surface clutter is the first layer of clutter. It's the easiest one because it's typically just stuff that is on a surface, a horizontal surface, and it's just where it doesn't belong. It's not in its home. Okay, so you can look around, even do this. You guys, this is kind of fun because people have told me, clients have told me, people, followers, people on the list have told me how helpful it is to use my TikTok lives as a podcast. Don't even look at the page. Like, it's just me and my face and my talking. It's not about me and what you're seeing. It's about what you're seeing in your mind's eye, but also what you're hearing, because you can hear this like a podcast and you can walk around your home today in the next 45 minutes. Instead of sitting here, you can get up, listen to me, and then you can declutter surface clutter. Now, I will say this, decluttering the surface clutter while listening to something is easy, or listening to somebody talk like a podcast is easy when it's the stuff that you know where it goes, right? Trash in the trash, recycles in the recycles, dirty dishes in the dishwasher, clean dishes in the cupboard, dirty clothes in the lawn, in the hamper stuff in the thing where the things have the homes. When you realize that things are out on a surface because they're not in a home, and the reason they're not in their home is because they don't really have a good home or their home is crowded, that's when we get to the second layer of clutter. The second layer of clutter is stored clutter. Stored clutter is stored in its home. What I like to say, it's usually behind doors and drawers. So think of kitchen cabinets and drawers. Think of bedroom closets and drawers. Think of bathroom closets and drawers. Think of anything that's kind of in storage. And what I want to suggest to you is you may not have space for the items that you use in storage because you're storing a lot of items you don't use. I know that sounds like a no-duh kind of moment, but it's true. You have stuff that's in circulation in your home, your clothes, your food, your toiletries, like stuff like that there, all right? And it's in circulation. You're using it. That's not clutter. That's the stuff you're using. The clutter is the stuff that stays on the sidelines, that's in the drawer and stays in the drawer. That's the stuff that's in your kitchen cabinet that's kind of in the back and on the sides or in the top because you're just not using it. Stored clutter, I've been doing this a lot with clients recently, the couple of mantras. You got to sort it before you store it. Sorting it means categorizing it, and it's going to look temporarily worse before it looks permanently better. Okay? So those are the two. If you even just deal with, if you never want to deal with your sentimental clutter at all, if you just deal with surface and stored, your home is going to look and feel and function so much better than it does now. And I love working with clients one-on-one about this because we really get into your specific nitty-gritty. Not all this stuff where it's a general thing. All this general stuff can totally help you, but man, it's different when somebody's there looking at you and helping you problem solve your specific issues, okay? I love it. Interesting. Tamara is saying, starting a business, but I know I will procrastinate organizing for it instead. Procrastination. Procrastination. No, that was punctuation. Anybody remember that? That was from like the electric company. Okay. Procrastination. Procrastination is an action. Pardon me, I forgot to shut off my notifications. Procrastination is a thing you do. You stay stuck. Procrastinate, you drag your heels, you don't get started. And I want to offer, starts up here with an unhelpful thought. Unhelpful thought makes you feel, I don't want to get started. And so when you don't want to get started, you don't get started. Notice the thoughts behind your stuff, people. That really is the two tools I've realized, like you can have a whole toolkit, right? But the main tools you use over and over again are probably like the screwdriver and the hammer. There's a handful of tools you use all the time. When I am coaching with clients about decluttering, I am telling you right now, I'm giving it away for free. Overcoming overwhelm and getting started, going from stuck to started, and dealing with the stuff behind your stuff, the thoughts that are causing you to stay stuck so you can get started. That's where it's at. Okay? Oh boy, 46 new messages. I will endeavor to answer all of these, but let's get going, okay? If I miss your question, please do not take it personally. It's not personal. I have to scroll through a ton of things, and sometimes I miss them because I only have my glasses on right here. There we go. Okay, here's a good one. I saw one. So Nursinita has a thought. My bedroom is so bad. How bad is it? I cannot get motivated to clean. Okay? So notice this, people. The thing you're going to notice, get curious about the thoughts you have in your life in general, but especially because we're chunking it down just into decluttering here, is notice the thoughts that have a bit of drama and, dramatic flair to them. Like, my bedroom is so bad. Oh, right? Just notice that. I'm not making fun. I'm just noticing. Have fun with it. Notice when there's drama involved, that is an unhelpful thought that's keeping you stuck. You even said, I cannot get motivated to clean. Motivation, this is what I think is really a game changer. This helped me. Is that when I wasn't motivated, it's because I didn't know where I was going or where I was headed. I wasn't excited to get there. Think about this. This is why I use this road trip metaphor, this in your car metaphor. Think about it when you're in your car. If you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there? Because there's no there. So you're probably not starting because you don't know where you're headed. And if you do know where you're headed, it may be a place that you're not too excited to get to. So this is why I call my coaching destination decluttered. Destination, road trip. A road trip destination is different from a commute. A road trip destination is someplace you're excited to get to. And where you should be excited to get to before you even start your decluttering is to say to yourself, where am I headed? Where am I excited to get to? And the way you start that is say to yourself, what do I want my home to look like? How will it look where it makes me feel good? Speaking of feeling good, how do I want to feel when I am in my home? I want to feel good when I'm in my home, and your variety of good. I want to feel calm. I want to feel serene. I want to feel protected. I want to feel open, spacious, whatever your things. Write these things down. And also, how do I want my home to function? Because the functionality of your home is the component that is going to help you not just get decluttered, but stay that way. So notice yourself, everybody who's procrastinating, everybody who is stopped and not stuck and not started, go back to the beginning, and the beginning is the end of where are you headed and how can you get excited? How can you get inspired? How can you get that kind of spark? How can you generate that spark in you so you are excited to get there? Think about it as, again, your car. Notice how when you're in your car and you don't know where you're going or you're not excited to get there, you're going to be reluctant to put the keys in the ignition and turn the key, right? The key in the ignition, literally and metaphorically, is what turns you from stuck to started. It ignites a spark in you. So what's the thing that's going to spark you? What's the thing that makes you go, ooh, yeah, I want my life to look like that? What gets you, what thought in your head, what images about your home get you to say, ooh, yeah, I want to go there? When you feel that spark, grab that, harness that. It's fire. It's fire, okay? Protect it. Write it down and say, that's where I want to go. That's where I want my home to look like. That's how I want to feel when I'm in my home. That's where how I want my home to function, okay? Start with the end in mind, as the businessy guy said. And before you even start driving, remind yourself where you're going. And if you're not excited about it, ask yourself why you're going there, okay? I hope that helped, nursing. You need to get yourself motivated with your bedroom. Everybody else, it can totally help too, okay? What else do we have here? Yep, my mini world. My mini world. I had a larger one. Here, where is it? I had a larger one, but it deflated. I like this one better too, because here, I'll share something with you. If you ever feel anxious about something, get yourself something. I don't care if it's like a crumpled up piece of paper or a pen. If you feel overwhelmed, I love doing this. Anxious, right? Cross that meridian, right? The unhelpful to the helpful. That bilateral stimulation, and say, you know what? I got this. I got unhelpful thoughts on the one hand, but on the other hand, I'm stuck. I can get started. I feel overwhelmed. I'm in control. I got this. So get yourself maybe a little ball, a little world. I love the world. I want to see the world. I'm seeing the world already. So you get that for yourself. That can also calm down anxiety. Okay, that's from I'm a certified life coach, so that was part of my training, and I love to share it with people. How does a timer help? It feels confining. Ooh, PM11208, such a good question. So one of the ways you can chunk down what you're doing to get yourself started is to use a timer. So there is a confining aspect of a timer, but the good thing is in the way I think of it, I think of two things. Is that it helps me practice to focus for a finite amount of time. But here's the fun thing, is that the end of the timer is your get out of jail free card. Once you do it for that amount of time, when that amount of time is done, you know officially you can stop, drop, and roll. You can go, okay? So think about that. The timer helps you focus your time and energy onto the thing that's important, as opposed to kind of fluttering around from flower to flower, or as a new client of mine just said, which I freaking love, she says kind of bebopping around from one thing to the next, right? Now, we all do that to a certain amount, and sometimes that can be fun. But other times, your life and world will be so much better if you practice being able to focus on one thing. And if that seems hard for you, you can give yourself a get out of focus free card to say, I'm going to focus for 20 minutes. And when the timer goes off, I don't have to focus anymore and I can buzz around, right? Notice how that can help you. Okay, there we go. So German Maid had a bad ADHD day yesterday, didn't get anything accomplished. I bet you got something accomplished. I bet you did. Just saying. Today will be a better day, but notice that. Notice the feeling. Everybody, if you just said to yourself, I didn't get anything accomplished yesterday. It's a thought. It's a sentence in your head that just exists. when you say that to yourself, it probably makes you feel a certain way. And if me, it'd be like defeat, discourage, all the negative things. And then if I say I didn't get anything accomplished yesterday, I'm doing just beating myself up. But I love what German Maid 95 just said, because that's the unhelpful side. That's the backseat drivers keeping you stuck. That's the mud. It's all this stuff. On the other hand, you've got your co-pilot. Your co-pilot is the more encouraging voice in your head, the one that makes you feel better, because when you are encouraged and feel better, you do better. And what you just did right there is beautiful. You said, today will be a better day. Now think about it. No matter what happened yesterday, if everybody here takes a page from German Maid 95 and says, today will be a better day. If you woke up every day, no matter how great yesterday was, you could even say, today's going to be a better day. Even just notice how that feels in your body. And when you think of today's going to be a better day, you will then go out and say, how can I make today a better day? Here are some things I can do to make my day a better day. It's all up here, friends. It's all up here, and it's so great because it's not anybody else, it's you. You can do this because you are the only person up here, right? There we go. All right, here we go. I love this too. Can I just give a shout out to all of y'all? And I'm not even, actually it's very cute. I have a postcard here. Oh, and I just dropped a bunch of stuff. I have a postcard I got when I was in Nashville at one point. I think it's Anderson. What is it? I can't read. Anderson Design Group. I love all y'all. I have this next to a picture of my friends and my family. And so even though I'm not Southern, I say all y'all. So what I love about all y'all is the fact that you all are helping each other out here in the comments. When I'm busy getting in depth, I'm focusing on one deep amount of info that can help somebody, you're catching questions that other people have and you're answering them. You're offering your suggestions. So notice, while you may believe you are struggling with your clutter, you have stuff to offer. You can do this because you're helping somebody else. Okay, yes, Becky Boomer is calling this my brain dump list. I'm always doing this. I think of it as a brain dump, as like spaghetti out of the colander out there so I can look at all these spaghetti thoughts, because you can't do that. All right? 58 new messages. All right, I got to be mindful of my time here. I'm going to kind of quickly go through these things. There we go. Okay, Mama Two Catchers, it's okay. Too heavy for me this early? That's fine. That's why I record these and put them up at the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel. All right. All right. Let's say here's somebody's, this is a good one. I know this is going to help. I get this a lot with my clients and pre-clients. Root of it is my mother's voice in my head. Notice it's not even your voice. It's your mother's voice in your head saying, you might need it someday. Save it for a rainy day. Okay, fair enough. But just ask yourself, okay, when was the last rainy day? When was the last day I needed this? Have I needed it in the past X many? Just get curious. You know how I'm talking about? Maybe I coach a lot, so sometimes I forget what I say on these things. But when I'm talking about like the unhelpful thoughts make you feel a certain way and you're stuck. On the other hand, on the other side of this invisible, wonderful line between you, right, is the asphalt, is the better feeling, is the getting started. And what is on the other side here? Instead of being judgment and shutting down, curiosity. Curiosity gets you started. Just get curious and say, when was the last time I used this thing that I have saved because I think I might need it someday? You might use it and you say, okay, I use it regularly or somewhat infrequently, but I still use it. I'm going to keep it. Like I have a crock pot. Did you just notice my Boston accent totally coming out there? Got a crock pot, Johnny. I have a crock pot in my basement that we really only use around Christmas when we make those meatballs with like the grape jelly and grape jelly and apricot preserves or something like that, right? We only use it once a year, but I like it. It's kind of vintage. It's funky when we have parties. So I use it. I'm not giving it away because I don't use it. On the other hand, we have a hot pot. Oh my God, my Boston accent is wicked obvious this morning. There's a thing. It's like one of those pressure cooker dealies. My husband wanted it. He likes to cook more than I do. And I was like, I don't know if we need one, but sure, we'll give it a shot. We brought it into our lives. We used it a handful of times. We really don't use it. So it just sits there. Now, to me, that's different from the crock pot. I am happy to say we don't use this pressure cooker. We can give that to somebody else, but the crock pot I use. So get curious as to when's the last time you used something. And if you haven't used it in a while, consider giving it away. Donate it. Either somebody specifically you know who might need it, offer it up to the people you know first. But if nobody wants it, you can put it in a thrift store where it can connect up with somebody, okay? And notice, Erin, too, that unhelpful thought. You literally said, this I love. So many good things. Thought in your head, you might need it someday, makes you feel ugh. Notice it's an unhelpful thought. And the way you know it's an unhelpful thought is because it is keeping you stuck versus getting you moving. Okay? This right here, I feel like I'm almost like back in church, really weird, but it's thoughts in your head make you feel a feeling. When you feel a feeling, you do a thing. What I help you with is to learn the new language of, instead of the unhelpful thoughts, we go to the helpful thoughts. Instead of feeling ugh, helpful thoughts will make you feel better. When you feel better, then you do better. Okay? There we go. Here we go. Struggling with office supplies, especially since I've been working with home. Okay, you know what? I would say this. Stored clutter, anything you have, categorize it. Sorting your clutter into categories can actually be very therapeutic. Or I love to create order out of chaos. It is calming to me to have a whole bunch of stuff and say, how can I take control of this? Office supplies. Look, I got all my pens. All my pens are here. All my pencils are here. Here are my staplers. Here is my tape. I've got it right down here. You know, I have all of my my thingies, my highlighters in one thing, right? And I have them easy peasy. I have them in a mug that I don't use anymore because it has a chip in it, but I liked the mug, so I kept it. Find the fun in it. Make the fun in it. I love to make decluttering fun. Your brain loves to pattern match. Your brain loves to come up with solutions for things. Your brain wants you. You want to. There's part of you that wants to live that life. Allow it to tell you what you need to do. Okay, my sister and I are going to help my mom during deer hunting season when her husband is gone. Great idea, helping your mom. But also realize that you're helping yourself too. Your mom may not need the help, may not want the help, cannot deal with a lot of stuff, but go in there saying, I'm going to help my mother, but at the same time, I'm going to help me. Because if my mother doesn't change, and trust me, I am speaking from 100% firsthand experience, if my mother can't or is unable to change, I still need to make a plan for her stuff so that when she is gone, I have a plan in place so I don't become overwhelmed with her stuff, okay? Just you and your sister, notice that. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, as my husband likes to say. What do you do when you move in to care for an elderly mom and she is a clean hoarder? Okay, notice, you're going to help your mom, but also help yourself. Do your best you can. Love your mom. Don't judge her. Go there with curiosity and love. Don't be judging and fearful, but also create a plan. Say, I'm going to make my mom's life the best I can while she's here. When she's gone, I'm going to have a plan for this myself. All right? I am glad you think this is a positive thing. I don't know how to make her comfortable getting rid of unnecessary things. Here's the thing, Carolina 9.8. I will offer to you. To you, they seem unnecessary things. To her, they may seem necessary in whatever twisted way that the fear, people, so I don't know how old you are, but I am telling you, there is a parental generation there and a grandparental generation that was seriously affected by the scarcity and lack of money and resources during the Great Depression of the 1920s and 30s. So that is deep. And that generation also is very resistant to looking inward about stuff. They don't want to deal with that. They are uncomfortable. Many of them, not all of them, but many of them are uncomfortable with that. So they cling on to things and they don't care about it. They just want to cling on to it. You may not be able to convince your mother that the things that you think are unnecessary are unnecessary. She may think they're necessary. That's okay. Allow her to live in that situation, but make a plan for yourself. Say, okay, and this is not mean. This is self-preservation for you. To say, when she's gone, what am I going to do with this stuff that aligns with my life? Do I want all this stuff in my home? No. So what am I going to do with this when she's gone? Okay? It's about you, and it's about breaking that cycle so your home doesn't get... there we go. And I love it. I love it. Somebody called somebody nibblings. I love it. How do you feel about taking photos of treasured items to remember but not keeping hold on items? Cynthia KY, I love it. Take the pictures. The sentimental items, the things that we have that are sentimental are things that tell us a story, that make us, there's a memory associated with it. Like I'm trying to think of something I even have around here. I I've got some stuff like nothing like I have more motivational things here, but this is to me, this is not sentimental. I bought this at a store because I like it's a stress ball. It helps me with my anxiety if I do this. I like using it in coaching. I like the world. It's not sentimental. Sentimental would be like this little picture of my niece. Okay, I keep that because it reminds me of her and how much I love her. Now, that's a physical picture, but I could take a picture of that and I could, I could, in theory and in practice, throw away that picture. Throwing away the picture of my niece does not throw away my love for her. I will still love my niece if I don't have the picture. Okay, so yes, doing that. Okay. What if I need it later? Marshall, you may have just tuned in. Watch the recording of this live on the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel when I upload it to there later today, and you will notice all about this whole notion of if I need it later. And everybody, I will repeat this often and with love because this is the game changer of all game changers, is realizing that you have thoughts about your stuff that make you feel a certain way about your stuff. And when you feel a way about your stuff, you do a thing with your stuff. If you have a thought that says, I might need it someday, it makes you feel insecure, fearful. I might need it. What if I get rid of it and I don't have it? Then I'm going to be in lack, and lack doesn't feel good, so I'm going to hang on to it. Notice that. It makes you cling on to it. On the other hand, on the other side of that unhelpful thought is a helpful thought. I may not, if I need this, that's okay. I can borrow one from somebody, right? There we go. Yes. Boop-a-doo. What else do we have? I'm struggling to help my parents clean out their house. They don't want to let go of anything. Okay, this may seem counterintuitive, but let them. Don't force them. Don't get at loggerheads with them. Can you imagine if somebody's, and I think about this, can you imagine somebody came into your house and said, you got to get rid of all this stuff? How would you feel? I would be pissed off. Better to be pissed off than pissed on. I would be pissed off, and I would double down. I would dig my heels in, as we say in my family. That's why I'm not doing this to my mother. I try to help her with this stuff, but at a certain point I'm not going to push because I don't want to end up my life in an empty home. What I want to do though is that you can make a plan. Hey, Irish Pink, nice to see you. You know, what I want to offer is there's a difference between not dealing with stuff and dealing with stuff, but dealing with stuff. People, dealing with stuff does not start with the hands moving the items. The dealing with the stuff comes up here with making a plan. And you can have a plan in place for your parents' stuff after they pass that makes you feel good, that you know what to do when it's gone, but also takes away the stress of emptying their house before they're done. You know, I don't want my mother living in an empty house just because it will be easier for me because we've already dealt with the stuff when she's still here. Ask the questions to your parents. Ask them about the things. What do they want to happen? Make a plan. You never even have to get it past that stage. If they're not willing to do it, allow them to live in a home that they feel comfortable in, whatever their definition of comfort is. Okay? There we go. All right, good question. Actually, user 257, why would you get rid of a picture by taking a picture? Because, you know why? This picture is paper. This takes up room. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't take up a lot of room, so I probably wouldn't get away with it because I love my niece. But what I will say is we now live in a digital world because we are living in a digital world and I am a digital girl. Oh, oh. I know I'm being goofy. This is how I coach. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I'm not really sorry. This is how I am. I am goofy. I am Gen X. I like to make decluttering fun. Notice, we don't live in an only paper-based society now. Oh, look, it even says to Auntie Beth on the back of it. How freaking cute is that? We live in a half paper, we live in a physical world and a digital world right now. By taking digital pictures of things, that it allows us to have the memory, have the photo, to look at our stuff and remind ourselves, and then it makes us easier to release things. Now, this is, you know, I will keep this picture because I am a sentimental person. I have boxes of sentimental stuff, but they're organized, and I love them, and I love going through them. And when I die, I will tell my nieces and nephews, feel free to burn those things. I may have burned them beforehand. I want to go through them before I die to remind myself what an awesome life I had, but I don't want to burden them with that, okay? But the digital thing is great for items of a bulky nature. Baby clothes, kids artwork, whatever it is that is of a sentimental nature that you want the memory but not the thing, take a digital photo of it. Then anytime you want to remember it, make a folder on your digital stuff and you can look at it. And look at me, I'm kind of swiping through because I have a whole photo, like I have a bunch of photo albums and stuff like that in that closet over there. I rarely go through them, but man, am I scrolling through my digital photos. It's a different world. So embrace it. Okay, embrace the benefits of the digital world. Case in point, you and I wouldn't be talking here. You wouldn't be signing up for my Destination Declutter mailing list by going to destinationdeclutter.com/join. We couldn't do so much of our world's stuff right now unless we had this digital connection. And isn't it real? Isn't it really cool? So how can you use the benefits of what we have now to make your life easier? And if taking a digital picture allows you to release items, I have a client, that was the light bulb, that was the game changer. When she realized she could take a picture of these things, that she knew the stories behind them, that she created an Instagram account to share the stories of the cool vintage things that she had, and that allowed her to move the physical items out of her physical space so her physical space was more enjoyable to live in. Okay, Linda Van Dyke, do I have a video coming for you? And anybody who's signing on right now is saying, I am so overwhelmed by the clutter and it seems so hopeless. I have a video that I am posting later today as soon as I finish editing it. I don't do a lot of editing. I just want to get it up there. How to overcome the overwhelm. I will address that in the video, but what I would love for you to notice is the feeling of overwhelm is coming from you saying, I am so overwhelmed by the clutter and it seems so hopeless. When you feel hopeless, what do? Probably nothing. You are stuck in the mud. On the other hand, where's my little thing? On the other hand, you can get started. The overwhelm is just you're looking at it too big. The world over your head. Chunk it down, write it down, breathe down into your lungs, calm down, slow down. All the downs overcome the over. Okay? When you feel some hope, you're going to get started. And you can do that by saying, this is not so overwhelming. I know what I can do. I can chunk it down, slow down, write it down, all these things. Okay? You got this. You can do it. Everybody here, you can do it. You can do it. It's not hard. Some parts are rough, or as like a bumpy road, but you can do this. And the reason you will want to do it is because you are falling in love with the destination that you started to think about. Why am I doing this in the first place? If you see no reason to do anything, you're not going to do it. If there is a reason, you might do it if it's like up here, but when the reason is in here, it's a whole different ball game. When I'm driving in my car to get to the dentist, I'll do it. I know I have to do this. But when I am driving to go to the beach, hang out in the ocean, play around, have a snack, smell the copper tone, read a book, oh my gosh, does that not light up a spark in me that says, ooh, I want to go to there? That's the destination you need to, that's the destination that's going to help you happily and willingly show up to do your decluttering because you're doing it for a reason that feels good to you. My kids want to save everything, including scraps from projects that are too small to use again. Okay, what you can do, and I love this, teach your kids from an early age to declutter. Okay, so they want to hang on to it. It's interesting. Some kids have no problem. They want to get rid of stuff. Everybody's different. But say, okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to save it for a certain amount of time, but then we're going to use it. And we're going to use it by this, and you put it away, and you put it in an envelope or like a little box or something like that, and you say, we put it away at this date, and then we're going to check. And if we've used this by December 31st, no big deal, we've used it. But if we haven't used it by December 31st, we will get rid of it. Okay? Just notice that. That works with you, too. When you have clothing you think you're going to wear, you haven't worn it yet, give yourself an opportunity to wear it, but say to yourself, I'm putting it away now, and if I don't wear it by December 31st, I'm going to consider giving it away. Okay? Notice that. Love those red storage bags behind you. Thank you. I am a collector, and those are vintage train cases from Vintage Luggage. Okay? I never would have had those in my life unless somebody else had decluttered and moved the luggage they didn't want to a place where I could get it. Notice how you removing the items from your life that you don't care about anymore allows them to connect up with somebody who does care about it. Okay? Okay. Lots of questions here. Won't be able to get to them right away, but here's, like, in the next, 17 minutes, but here's what I want to offer and share, because this is good stuff, people. If you really want to declutter, and I know you do, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be listening to this. One of the best things to do is to get onto the Destination Decluttered list, the email list, the cool people, the list at Backstage, okay? DestinationDecluttered.com/join. I tell you this because it gives you a couple of things. First of all, it gives us a one-on-one connection that if any of these social platforms that I'm on decide to go dark, we can still stay in touch. I also do a live group Zoom call for free once a month. It's like group coaching, but then you can ask your question specifically. And because it's a smaller group, it's not 186 people like right now, you can get your question answered. Okay? I love it. Jeep Mama is saying, as a crafter, it's so hard to get rid of stuff. It is hard, but it's not impossible. Okay? There we go. And what I want to offer is, if you want me as your life coach, your Destination decluttering coach rather, let's make that happen. How that happens is getting on my mailing list. You will be notified as to when I have consultations. I will say I have consultations that are public right now. If you go to DestinationDecluttered.com, you'll find the Work With Me button. There's a big old honking like orange sign that says like schedule your consultation. Schedule a consultation. I ask you questions to see if what you're struggling with is something I can help you with. I can't help everybody, and nor do I pretend to, and I don't want to set you up for failure. I want to set you up for success. So we talk to see if what you're struggling with is something I can help you with, and if it is, I tell you about coaching, how much it costs, how it works, and if this feels like the best way, because it is. Getting help with what you're struggling with is the highway to get you to the life you want. If you're trying to do it on your own, I get that. I am a stubborn New Englander like nobody's business. I do many things on my own happily, but man, has my life been revolutionarily transformed to the positive when I admitted I could only do what I could do, and I only could work up to my knowledge, and I needed to get extra knowledge and help. And I am telling you, getting help with what you're struggling with, no matter what it is going to help you live the life you want. My life has been revolutionized when I admitted that I needed help, and I got the help. Coaching, all sorts of stuff, okay? So you can do this, all right? There we go. I love this. People are, there you go, Walt Spy. I love this. You're helping each other out. Keep on doing this. Keep on doing this. Okay, what other questions can I have? Okay, here's a go. Erin, you may benefit from something that my ADHD clients and people in my family tell me. And I have a little bit of it, like I get distracted like nobody's business, but I have this wonderful, I love my brain. I love how it works. And so I have that kind of, oh, that's interesting, but I can also get back into focus. Decluttering with a buddy can be easy. The person doesn't have to be in the room with you. I have been in the room with people, and it does totally allow folks to focus. What I want to suggest is, they call it body doubling. And what you can do is experiment with this. I put my Destination Decluttered TikTok lives, after I'm able to download them from TikTok, I upload them to Destination Decluttered over on YouTube. There is a whole, like a playlist of just TikTok lives. I have been told by many, many people on these things that how beneficial it is for them to be able to listen to these things when they're available, they can focus, but also listening to them while they declutter. I'm just giving you inspiration and motivation in the background so you can do that, okay? I am non-judgmental. I am a friend. I encourage. You don't have to do it alone. If you don't have a friend, this is what I am as a coach in real life to people. If you don't have a friend or a family member who is non-judgmental and encouraging, that's what I am for you. When I show up randomly on these TikTok lives, like I have to post some next week. Sometimes I show up, sometimes I don't. I always tell you when I'm going to show up. It's posted on the top of my TikTok page. It's always pinned. But if you don't have somebody in real life, in your own life for that, because they're like judgy and non-encouraging, I get it. That's why I show up for people who want somebody like that in their lives. That's why I do one-on-one coaching with people. And the transformations are mind-blowing, okay? Hope that helps. You got this. See, I'm non-judgmental, encouraging you, showing you how you can do it. You got this. Okay, I get 12 more minutes here, and then I need to sign off. I will be posting a video later today about how to overcome overwhelm. It is really killer, people. So like it, share it, love it, use it. Use it, okay? The other thing is, too, is that if you notice when you go to my TikTok page to like it, which I hope you do, is that I have like 3 pinned videos at the top. One is all about this notion of chunking down the overwhelm by taking the spaghetti out of your head and straining it out and organizing it, right? The other one literally is talking about how it changed my life to think of my life as a road trip. So watch that, okay? The other thing that I always pin there, though, is the video that I do that will tell you when I'm showing up for a TikTok Live. Sometimes I will say this. I like to be flexible and spontaneous, so sometimes I will pop up. But I also like scheduled stuff, so I know when to show up for the people that I care about. So later today, too, I will also be posting and pinning the schedule for next week's TikTok Lives. That will be the bare minimum that I show up. But like if I feel like it, I might pop up on a weekend or something like that. The reason I talk about the pop-up ones is because if you follow my TikTok page, then you will be able to be notified when I spontaneously go like, oh, look, she's live. I'll tune in. I'll get motivated. Okay? Oh, Heidi Dragon, thank you for telling me that I've been an incredible blessing today. Thank you. Me helping you is you helping me. I love it. Okay? I appreciate your wisdom. Okay, I sometimes do pop up. I do. Like I did it last week because here's my deal. Here's how I roll, and I love it, is I am on when I'm on, and when I'm off, I'm off. When you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, right? So I will schedule TikToks, so I promise I will be there. And I have become, and I know how important it is to keep promises to myself and to other people. So when I put it out there, I show up. You can rely on me to show up when I say I'm going to show up. However, if I feel like it, and it's outside of those other ones, I will also occasionally pop up and say, like I was looking at my weekend, I'll be honest with you. So I'm looking at when I can do TikTok Lives, like this. Oh, that's right. So I can't. I was already thinking like I could do some this weekend. Maybe I can. We're going to be away for the weekend because we're going away for a wedding. So I don't have anything scheduled because I don't know what the schedule is like. But if my schedule is I'm up early at the hotel in the morning, I could go somewhere quiet and pop up. It's fun. Yeah. And so there we go. Oh, thank you, user Patty Pumpkin, for loving my new glasses. I love them too. They're helping me see, which I really love. So anyhow, yes. So if you sign up for my mailing list, you will know when I'm showing up on TikTok. You'll get the first dibs on the coaching consultation sections on my calendar. You can also do that now. DestinationDeclutter.com/join. But enough of me doing all that kind of infomercial-y stuff. What I want to do is I want to spend the next 9 minutes helping you. Okay? And here's the deal. You guys have this. You got it going on. Oh, I am a DSM hoarder. Can you help? I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Can you help people with a tight budget? All of those organizing. Oh my God. Organizing items are blah. Do not go buy stuff until you know what you even have that you even want to save. And then you don't have to spend a lot of money on things. Please, please, please. I mean, one thing I will say is that even as I grow my business, unless I passionately super believe in the benefit of a certain product, I don't want you spending your money on stuff that you don't need to spend your money on. Where I come into the decluttering space is up here. And this is free, people. My TikTok lives are free. My videos that I post are free. My email mailing list is free. I do free webinars and not seminars. I don't even know what a fucking seminar is. Pardon me. Workshops on Zoom. All of that is free because it has nothing to do with where you're storing your stuff. Please do not go buy storage. Don't go buy storage places until you have already decided, what is this thing? Do I even want to keep it? And if the answer is yes, I want to keep it, then you say, where's a good place for me to keep it? And then you can easily go buy like a bin at Target for $5. Do not go hog wild. I will not be selling you any kind of bullshit systems, okay? Like this is an IKEA bookcase that I use for myself, okay? So please know that there's help out there, all right? Here we go. Let me think of some other good stuff I can answer before we get off for the day. Here's an interesting one. Cici Bon 1. I definitely get stuck. Helped my friend declutter. Easier than dealing with my own. Of course. Because you cannot hear the stories that her clutter is telling her. You can hear every single item in your home, in your life, is telling you a story. It's chatting with you the whole time. There's the mug, there's this, there's that picture, there's that magnet, there's this record, there's this, there's that. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Nobody else can hear that. So I can easily help people because I don't know the story. So I can go into your coaching with curiosity and love to just say, hey, what's this thing? Do you want it? And then you answer. You say, do I want this? I may have wanted it earlier in my life. And here's a cool thing. Think about your life as a road trip. Prior to this pin on the road that we call today, you drove and you got here somehow. You have a past where you collected items. That is your kind of backlog of clutter. That's probably, it's gotten to such a point where you're like, I need help because I have too much. Sound familiar? So just notice those things worked with, you made decisions, you had thoughts about those things back then. Right now, today, I ask you to look forward. You are the driver in your car. Look through the windshield. Look on the big white screen of that drive-in movie theater ahead of you and say, what do I want the movie of my life to look like ahead of me? What do I want to feel like? What I want it to function like? Start to define your destination. And then when I ask you, what is this thing? Do you want it or not? You can ping it up against kind of the North Star of your destination to say, will that thing fit with that life or not? I noticed myself when I redid this office, because we had been in here, this house, for 17 years before even painting it, and it was totally cluttered. There's pictures on the internet of it, how it looked before. But what I will say is this, is I decided that I wanted my home, my space to look and feel more like Palm Springs, California. What did that mean to me? That meant some bright colors, but it meant also big white spaces to give my eyes a rest. I wanted things clean and neat and organized. When I said that to myself and I defined that, then I could say, is this thing going to add to that clean, crisp, organized feeling, or is it going to get me cluttered and not so clean? It just helps you define those things, okay? There we go. And I love it. Kim just said, great to go back to look at done areas for inspiration. Yes, because you know what you say? You look at that thing and you say, I did that. I can do this. I did that. Take pictures, people. I do this with my clients. We take pictures from the road. Here's where I started. This is what it looked like when I started. Then I did some things. I took another picture. This newer picture looks better than the other picture. And we're not going for perfect. We're going for better. And then that better picture is a good starting point. What can I do to make that look a little bit better? Then I take a picture and it's a little bit better. Then I take a picture. It's like being on a road trip. Okay? The other thing I want to mention, and crap, I think it already flew out of my head because this is how I roll, is better. You're going for better. You're taking pictures. Just show up for yourself. Okay, here's an interesting thing. Have you done kitchen? This is one of the hardest because of the items I don't use all the time. No, that's actually really good, just me. Because you notice there are items that you don't use all the time. Okay? And what I want to offer is, like, notice the things you don't use and say, am I going to use this in my future? Am I going to make bread? Am I going to crock pot stuff? Again, crock pot, Johnny. There's my accent, right? Am I going to use this? Is the answer is like, no, I don't know. I did bread for a while and I enjoyed it then, but I'm kind of done. If you're not going to use it in your future, if you think you're not going to use it in your future, it makes it easier to get rid of. Also, as my, so I have training. I'm a certified life coach. I worked in process engineering. I was an art history major. I worked in home goods, visual merchandising, and management for years. I worked for Pier 1 Imports. So one of the things, too, is think about it. You don't keep all the stuff you need in front of you. Keep the stuff that you use most often within easy reach. This is the functionality of your home. Okay, the stuff that you don't use most often, put it someplace away. You don't have your holiday decor out all the time. No, you have a way to store it, and then you know where it is, so when you need to get it, you can get it. Okay? So think about those things. Yeah. Okay, now interesting, Kathy Ruffner. What I want to say is I'm noticing the tenses you're using because I listen really hard and I read really well. And I notice you say it's hard to predict what sentimental objects my daughters would have wished I kept. You know what you do? You start that conversation with them right now. I don't care how old they are. Well, I mean, little kids, it's kind of abstract. But if they're in their 20s, late teens, 20s, and beyond, have that conversation. Not to be morbid, but it's going to happen anyway. Ask them, is there any of the stuff that I have that you want? And the answer can be no. And do not take offense. Your stuff means something to you. Your parents' stuff means something to them. Your kids and niece and nephew stuff means something to them. That's all legit. But you don't have to have somebody else's stuff mean anything to you, and vice versa. Don't make your stuff mean anything else to somebody else. Enjoy your stuff while you're here. Love it, live it, make a plan with it, get rid of the stuff you don't need, but don't guilt anybody else into keeping stuff, okay? I love it. Okay, D, I'm going to leave with this. I have decluttered my house, but now I want to do a second round of clutter cuts. Do it. It is a process. You're going to cull. You're going to go through. It's like weeding your garden. When you get out the big weeds, then you notice the smaller things. When I got off the leaves, I noticed yesterday, because I did a TikTok from my garden, I noticed, oh, there's clover growing. Oh, look, there's something here. It's part of the process to go back and weed it again. The more you pull out the weeds, the more you can kind of reduce the items that aren't doing for you, the more space you have for what you do want, and maybe just what you want is space and peace and ease, okay? Crystal is asking, is hiring professional help to organize something that runs into the thousands? Sometimes it does. Yes, it does. It all depends on the professional. Depends on the person. I will say, I'm a deal. I know people who charge so much more than me. Life coaching, oh my gosh, that stuff can be more than I charge. Right? I don't want to dismiss anybody for what they're charging, but what I will say is there's people out there all over the monetary spectrum. What I would say to you kind of in this thing is how much, if you could go to Target, right, and you bought something off the on the shelf that cost $2,000, but it said it guaranteed that if you used it, it would work to make your life look better and feel better and function better, think of that as an investment in your life, because it's not just the $2,000 spent there, it's from here to the rest of your life that it benefits it. You know? There we go. Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing, Lady V, people can clean, but ultimately, this is why I don't show up to people's houses. I would just be doing, hey, what's this thing? Do you want this thing? If you want this thing, where do you want to put it? If you don't want it, where do you want to give it away? Lather, rinse, repeat. That is a waste of money because you can save all that money from doing that, doing it yourself. If you need help getting stuck, getting from started to stuck from started, I help with that. I have strategies, processes. I make it fun. I help you make those decisions for yourself. Learn to make those decisions because they're going to align with the way that you want your home and life to look and feel and function. Okay? I do not do a declutter party online. I might experiment with that. We'll see. There we go. You learn how to declutter and make the decisions. Okay? All right, you guys. This was so good, but I got to roll because I'm hopping into clients and consultations all day. But let me share this with you. You deserve to get to that destination you want. Even just by defining it, it's going to help you right now. By saying, no, yes, I want these in my life. No, I don't. Start to declutter your home. It will help you declutter your life. Get on my mailing list if you want more. DestinationDecluttered.com is my website. Join gets you on the membership. Work with me gets you into a consultation opportunity where we can just talk about, it's just an informal thing. It's just like this on Zoom where I ask you questions and we find out if it would be a good fit for us to work together with me as your specific one-on-one coach. All right? Mailing list gets you a lot of freebies. You're on the list. And later today, I will say this. Later today, for those of you who are still live, not watching it on the YouTube channel, I will upload this recording to the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel. I will. Notice me. I'm getting stuff done and I'm sharing it with you. External accountability. I'm going to upload this to the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel. I am going to post a really good video about how to overcome overwhelm. It's a killer, people. It's really good. You can just bookmark that, share it, love it, live it. Okay, and then also I'm going to look at my calendar and promise and schedule times where next week I will show up for more TikTok lives so that you can see that. It's going to be pinned to the top of my TikTok page. And when you go to my TikTok page, if you haven't followed me or whatever, please do that, because I do occasionally do pop-ups as well. All right, all of that is to help you, get from where you are now to where you want to go. Okay, I show up for you because I know how much it helped me, and I want to help you, get you to live a life you want, because I'm telling you, it feels really good. All right, I will see you.